Welcome to this tutorial on creating a block business letter. The first thing we want to do here is open up Microsoft Word. Once you have Microsoft Word open, we need to format the screen. The first thing you want to do if you have the task pane open is to go ahead and close that over here. And we want to make sure that our toolbars are correctly in display. So we want to right click here on the menu bar and make sure you have your standard formatting and drawing toolbars checked. And also go down to Customize, and you can have checked all of these options here. And then select Close. Now that we've done that, the next thing we need to do is change our margins. Margins here on the left, the right, and also the top. To do that, we want to double click here on the side ruler, and that'll bring up our Page Setup dialog box. Here we want to take our top margin and change that to 2. You don't have to put the inch mark. You can just type a 2. I'm going to hit the Tab key. I'm going to keep the bottom margin at 1. I'm going to change our left margin to a 1 only and our right margin to a 1 only. The gutter and gutter position don't matter for this project, so we're just going to leave those the same at 0 and left. Once you're done with that, select OK. Now you can see our top margin is 2 inches. So next thing we need to do is put in our letterhead. The letterhead's going to go in the top part under the header of our page. To get to our header, we want to go up to View and Header and Footer. And now we're inside the header. To insert this, we're actually be inserting a picture. And if your toolbar is anywhere in your way, just move that down. You can even dock it on the side of the page. And we need to insert this graphic that we created in a previous tutorial. To do that, we're going to come down here and you can see Insert Picture. You see how it has that symbol there? That symbol I know is Insert Picture because of the screen tip it brings up. And also if you go up to Insert Picture and from File, it's the same graphic or same icon representing that. So go ahead and select, and we're going to find that image. And we have this last name - bakery letterhead that you made in that previous tutorial, and we're going to select Insert. And once we do that, you can see it adjusts the box there, and we have that one image in there. And if I click on it, you'll see that the picture formatting toolbar comes up. If I click off of it, it'll go away. And we can just go ahead and close this out. We're done with that part of it. Now we need to start formatting our letter. So the first part we know is the date line, where we have to put in the current date. To do that, we're going to let Word use one of its tools. We're going to go up to the menu bar and select Insert and then Date and Time right here. And then we're going to pick the format we want. You can either go with the day, month, date, and then the year, or just the month, day, and year. I'm going to choose the one with the day spelled out and then select OK. After we have that, we can hit Enter. We need to hit Enter 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that'll give us 3 blank lines. And then we're going to put in who this letter is to. And this letter example is going to be to Mr. Anthony Bauer. He is the manager of Frosty's Cool Appliance Service and Repair. His address, we start with the street address, which is going to be 4568 Fix It Lane. And then we're going to put in our city, state, and zip code. Pittsburgh, comma, capital PA, 2 spaces, 15201. Then we're going to hit Enter 2 times and put in our salutation or our greeting. And that's going to be Dear Mr. Bauer. We're leaving out his first name here and being very, very polite. Then we're going to put in a shift, I'm holding shift and the semicolon, which will put in a regular 2-dot colon. And then I'm going to hit Enter 2 times. Now we've formatted this in the proper way. We have our date line. We've skipped 1, 2, 3 lines here. We've put in a 5-line inside address. This inside address is who we're sending the letter to. Again, after each one of these lines, we hit Enter. We put the person's name, their title, where they work, and then the address of this place that we're sending it. You can see here this little dotted line, and if I hold over it, this little smart tag comes up. Microsoft is recognizing that this is an address, and if we wanted to, we could tag this so that we could drive here and get location directions, anything that we need. We could also store it in the computer as a frequent contact. Because we're not going to actually be doing that or sending another letter to this address, we're not going to worry about it. So after you've put in the greeting or the salutation, we're going to select right next to our colon. We're going to hit enter 2 times, and now we're ready to start keying the letter body of our page. You want to start off with my name is, and then fill in your first and last name there. I'm going to put in my name. And then I'm going to put in the rest of this sentence. And just feel free to start typing along. I like 2 spaces after a period, and then we will go on to the next sentence. Go ahead and take a copy of this letter and start keying it, the rest of it, into yours, making sure to put in a space between each paragraph. When the video picks up, we will have all of that done and we'll be ready to finish the letter. Okay, you should now be finished drafting this letter. And you can see here we put in some contact information for ourselves, our hours of operation, when is a good time for them to call. We also included a line here that we're enclosing a picture of the unit with the model and serial number, and that's just for their information to make sure that when they come, they are ready to fix that cooler freezer that we've talked about up here. It's important to include as much detail as you can as quickly as you can. And then we finished out with a thank you for their time and looking forward to their response. So now we need to finish our letter. We're going to do that by hitting enter 2 times to put up 1 blank line, and we're going to put in sincerely. And this is our complimentary closing. And then we're going to do a comma. And now notice here we have a colon up here and we have a comma down here. This is mixed punctuation that we are using in this letter, and that's the standard for business formatted letters. Then we're going to hit enter 4 times after our comma. 2, 3, 4. And that's going to put, again, a blank line, or 3 blank lines between that and our typed name. So then we're going to type in our name. Now I'm going to put in my first and last name here so you guys understand what you're supposed to put in. And actually, I would probably leave this part out when I was actually sending this letter. And we did hit enter directly below that, and I would put in my title, and we're going to say that we are the owner of this business. And this blank space here is left in for your signature. So if you would print this out, you would sign it, preferably in blue ink, but also black ink, definitely not pencil. And then we can actually mail this letter out. But there's one part in here we need to take care of, and that is the fact that we enclosed a picture. If they were opening the envelope and somehow the picture didn't get pulled out of the envelope, it was important for them to know that it was in there. Although they read it here, we also want to make sure we have the courtesy of putting in that we enclosed something in this letter. So at the bottom of any letter that you enclose something, you want to put in the following line. We're going to put enclosure. And although that's the only thing you technically have to put in, I would prefer that you put enclosure and then colon and then what it is. And I'm going to put in a photo. Okay, and you would just list all of the different things that you were enclosing in here if you had multiple things. That way they know to look back in that envelope and to check to verify they have everything that you're supposed to have. And if we zoom out, we have now finished our letter. We have our letterhead at the top, our date. Again, quad space, which is 3 blank lines but 4 enters to get down to our inside address. We have this over here at 5 lines. If we didn't have this gentleman's title, we could just leave this one blank. That would be okay, and we'd actually end up putting it like that. So it would be 4-line inside address, and I'm going to undo that for this part of the project. Okay, you have now finished creating a block formatted letter. Stay tuned for a modified block formatted letter using this as your template. Have a good day.